How's it going, guys? I'm Mike Dwyer from the Bunker Recordings and BetterMixes.com, and today I want to tell you about my 5 favorite free plugins. Just as a quick note, I work in Pro Tools, so all of these are plugins that are available in AAX format. I know there's a whole lot more free plugins out there for other platforms, so if your favorite free plugin isn't on this list, that could be why. So first up on this list is MJUC Jr. by Klanghelm. I'm like 60% sure I'm pronouncing the name of this plugin wrong, but it's spelled MJUC Jr. But either way, there's a paid version of this just called MJUC, which is actually 3 different Very compressors in one. It has a Fairchild style compressor, a Universal Audio 176, and a more modern take on the technology that they came up with themselves. The free version that we're looking at, however, is a combination of the first 2 modes in the bigger version. So that means it's kind of a combination of a Fairchild and a 176. As you can see, there's not a whole lot going on here. You've just got your input, your output, and your time constants, fast, slow, or auto. But this thing sounds really killer on vocals, on bass, sometimes on drums. Really good on a lot of different things. Let's check it out real quick on this vocal. So first without it.
First thought in my mind when it gets too late at night.
And now with it.
First thought in my mind when it gets too late at night.
So as you can see, it's clamping down really nice in fast mode here and adding some nice harmonics and saturation. If you flip it over to slow or auto mode, it becomes a lot smoother and a lot less aggressive and can just ride the dynamics in a much gentler way. Number 2 on our list is Freq Echo by Valhalla. So this is a cool delay with a couple of unique features. So you've got delay time from 0.01 milliseconds all the way up to 1 second, your standard feedback and mix controls, and a high cut and low cut to shape the sound a little bit. And you also have a delay sync, so instead of using this knob for the time, you can just select from 1/8 note, quarter note, whatever. But what makes this plugin interesting is this shift knob here. So basically what this is doing is it's pitch shifting up one side and down the other side to give you some nice stereo width. So let's take a listen to our guitar without that. So just a standard guitar riff, and then with it. And to show you what this is doing, let's just crank this up like way too far for a minute. So yeah, as you can see, that can get pretty weird if you crank it. But anywhere in this lower range here, kind of anywhere from, 0 to 5, it's just kind of a nice subtle widening effect. And a quick little bonus plugin here, another one from Valhalla. It's called the Space Modulator. You can get this for free if you buy one of their plugins and then fill out a survey. So it's like kind of free, but it's really cool. It does all kind of modulation things from chorus to flangers and weird. You can never go wrong with weird. So this is definitely a great one to have. Moving on to number 3 on our list, we have the Monster from Slate Digital. So this is based on the all buttons in mode on an 1176, but it has a few additional features, including a high pass filter sidechain, a mix knob, and this really cool high frequency detect knob, which basically boosts the high frequencies in the sidechain of the plugin. So if you've got something really harsh going into this, it'll help the compressor to clamp down on it. So I've got this on my room mics here. Let's check it out without it first. So sounds like room mics, and let's put that on. So yeah, just super badass, mega aggressive compression. Got another bonus one for you here. We'll call this 3.5. It's Revival from Slate. I'm including this with the other one just because if you download Monster, it comes with Revival as well. So since you're getting them both together. But what this is a harmonic enhancer. So it's got 2 knobs, shimmer and thickness. Basically, it's boosting higher harmonics or lower harmonics. And well, it's pretty self-explanatory. You want more shimmer or do you want more thickness? So let's check this out on our rhythm guitars. So I'm just using it really subtly here, but I'll crank them up just so you can hear what it can do. So yeah, it just brings in a little extra sparkle or a little extra beef. and can really help to bring some sounds to life. Number 4 on our list goes to Bark of Dog by Boz Digital Labs. So this has a few different modes here. In classic mode, this is just a resonant high-pass filter. I'll show you what that means by bringing up another EQ here. So this is a resonant high-pass filter. Basically, it boosts at the frequency just above where you're cutting. So that's the same thing we're doing here in classic mode. And what's nice about this is you can really bring out a focused area in your low end while cutting all the junk below it that you really don't need. Then passive mode here is meant to kind of replicate the low end of a Pultec EQ. And if you know anything about Pultecs, there's that classical trick of boosting and cutting at the same frequency. And it makes a kind of weird curve that, much like the resonant high-pass filter here, boosts what you want and then kind of cuts the mud around it. And then finally, there's combo mode, which is just a combination of those two. So let me show you what that can do for us on bass. This is without it. And then with it. So yeah, just a really nice clean low end boost without muddying up the bass too much. And then finally, number 5 on our list is Nova by Tokyo Dawn Labs. The version we're looking at right now is the Gentleman Edition, which is the paid version of this plugin. But the free version does most of the same stuff. It's just lacking a couple of features that this one has. And we're not going to do anything in this video that we can't do with the free version. So Nova is a fully functional dynamic equalizer. So there's a few things we can do with that. One, you can just treat it like an equalizer and boost or cut frequencies. But some of its other uses are a lot more interesting. I'll show you 2 examples here on our rhythm guitars. So the first one is, let's say our guitars are a little harsh in the mid-range, somewhere around 4K or so. We can dynamically duck that out. We're not cutting it all the time. We're just cutting it when those harsh frequencies are really poking out. So let's check that out. So yeah, you can see the yellow line there was kind of bouncing around a little bit. This might not be the best example for this use because these guitars are pretty consistent, but it'll just bring it down when it's extra harsh and won't cut it if there's not a lot of that frequency happening. So then the other use I want to show you, this one is even cooler, I think. So in this case, we're feeding that guitar riff we listened to earlier into the sidechain of this plugin and then setting it to external sidechain here. And then we have it to duck the mid-range of our rhythm guitars when the solo is playing. So let's check that out. Now let's listen once without that. And with. So we're going pretty subtle here, but you can hear that it gets the rhythm guitars out of the way of the lead guitar when it's playing. But it's only ducking the mid-range where the lead guitar really needs to cut through. It's leaving the low end and the top end and everything else alone. And finally, I've got one more bonus one for you here, and that's your stock plugins. Stock plugins usually get a bad rap, but a lot of them are totally fine. While they might not be the most inspiring tools to use, they're not an excuse to not make great sounding music. I've used the stock Pro Tools delay and reverb in quite a few of my mixes, and I've seen firsthand the EQ being used on records that went multi-platinum. So like I said, it's no excuse. If the stock plugins are all you've got right now, it's totally fine. You can still make great sounding mixes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And let me know down in the comments if you tried any of these and really liked them. Or if there are any that I missed, I'd love to hear about them.